Hello.
Hello.
Rhonda is being a nuisance behind me, trying to get in my lap.
It's the new thing. The cats, I mean, it's not that new anymore, but since we started doing this show, the cats now know that we're in here at this time, and they are also in here hunting for attention.
Rhonda, I told you could come on my lap.
It is August 6th, and I'm opening a beer.
Thursday. Say Thursday.
I haven't seen Ross in a while.
I was just going to say that.
Thought about him last night.
Where is he? What's
Probably working.
I'm going to
like
message him right now.
every
See
other
where he is.
human being at 5 o'clock. Well,
Right.
not every other, but lots of people. Rhonda, you gotta lay down, okay? We're in the middle of something here. Yes, it's another day.
Retta! Hello, Retta. Oh, I haven't even done my little
You're way off. Hi, Retta.
thingamajig over here yet to see who's logging on. Hold on.
Hi, Kurt. Yes, Rhonda came up to say hi to you.
Oh, there's
specifically.
Kurt. Right? Oh, she traded sides now. She's over with you.
Yeah, but she's
Sulking.
just out of camera shot, though. Move your face over here.
She wants you to put something on the iPad for her to watch.
Move your face over here, honey.
Retta, how's it going? Are you still working on the backyard? I was asking you yesterday, but I think you popped in and popped out. Oh, and cheers.
Salud.
I'm having cherry and what is it?
Did you mix
I
the
mixed
the
everything.
two?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Cherry and
Cherry, cranberry, pineapple, orange.
yeah, and vodka. I'm afraid that this is going to kill me though because I was using the rest of the vodka from the trip, and I poured it into the glass, and I think there was more in the bottle than I thought.
It won't kill you. It just make
Because
for
it's
a
like,
really fun show.
it's like this much vodka and this much juice.
The bottom of the glass is very narrow.
True.
We're doing all right.
Glad to hear you're doing well, Retta. Are you still working on the backyard? Oh, heavens. And yuck.
Yeah, all of them together.
No, just the cherry. It's very medicinal.
Yeah,
It
I won't
tastes
buy
like
the cherry
cough syrup.
again. Unless I buy just cherry.
You have to get like the
The
tart.
cranberry cherry, no.
Yeah. It's very medicinal.
Yeah, I'll drink it.
It feels like
Without
I'm
alcohol.
drinking cough syrup right now.
I think without alcohol, it'll be better.
No, it's not. Because I drank some yesterday before I made any boozy beverage with it. Because on my second drink, I added some in. And I was testing it.
The only thing I did today, I slept late because I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, could not go back to sleep. I ended up going out and catching a couple gibbles.
Of course you did. Aw.
No bueno.
Well, I hope his hip feels better. You're not getting out there, Retta, and chopping down some trees. I can see you out there with an axe.
Yes, I didn't do much. Got up at 10-ish. Did a little work. Actually, I worked for about 3 hours today, so that was kind of nice. Went and got us lunch. And then came back and worked for another like 15 or 20, 30 minutes, emailing back and forth.
Nice.
Yeah.
I planted a whole bunch of stuff today and transplanted stuff and moved pots around and did a whole bunch of stuff. I've been rooting some of that geranium on the porch for a while. Cleaned up the porch a little bit.
You should harvest some from out in the front that's overgrown and then put it in other locations that we need it, like in front of that the wall. We need more in there. Oh, by the way, I went to Lowe's the other day while you were on vacation, actually, and I looked at. Oh, great! I can't remember the name of the vine. I were having overload issues.
I was gonna say, what's going on? We have 71 drop frames right now.
Who knows? Who the hell knows?
How's our sound, Kurt and Retta? We're a little jumpy, it looks like. Facebook is frozen, looked like.
I restarted everything. Let's push this down a little bit until we get back up running.
Drop the bit bytes down to 90.
Yeah. That was a vine that I was going to get. That's what I was going to say.
Oh, what sort of vine?
I can't remember the name of it, but it had little orange flowers.
Little trumpet-like flowers?
Kind of.
Mm-hmm. We're good now? For where?
For the
out
wall out front.
Oh, yeah.
So
I would
see
like
how
to
that
get a
goes.
passion flower for mine. Your drink looks good, Derrol. I would drink that with or without the vodka. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's very strong because I accidentally put more vodka in it than I thought I was in the bottle. So I poured it in and I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be an interesting show. But it's very fruity. I think some more orange would have been in order.
It's fruity, just like Derrol.
Exactly.
Yeah, we know. I don't know why.
Ah,
Just hang in there. Hopefully it'll correct itself here. We haven't done anything. I restarted every single piece of equipment before. I don't think it's us. I think it's some YouTube restream deal.
yeah, it must be restream because we got a red bar right there. Doesn't that mean
We got lots of red bars.
Doesn't that mean bad?
We got red all over the place. But yeah, that was about it.
I have a bunch more cactus quills in my hands and actually in my arm because I accidentally brushed up against one also today. So was super fun.
Okay, our error went away. So hopefully it gets better.
How we looking now, guys?
Stream health is still red, but we are looking better on this side, everyone. So hopefully it gets better.
I mean, as long as the sound is okay. Even if
Yeah.
I mean it's not ideal for the video to be skipping
Well,
around.
what's
But
so
as long as our sound, so we're not like
What's so strange is when we started this, we didn't have this problem.
No, it's because of our popularity.
That's not it. So it's either Restream, which we were not using in the beginning, we were using something else, or my computer's just sick of it, which is concerning because I could have one or two more gigs coming up that I have to use this computer. So that might mean a new computer.
It does look better all around. Our sound bars look better.
Everything's
It looks
gotten better
over here.
Good. We're fine.
Yay! It doesn't say so on your computer. It still says red.
Can't ever tell everybody. Just all of a sudden, things just go south.
It's true. Where's Patricia? Is she here?
Oh, she's probably doing
She's coloring.
her puzzles.
Coloring puzzles.
Or I mean, her coloring.
Did you just have a stroke? Although the things that she color could make very cool puzzles.
Some of them are, yeah.
Right? That'd be fun. Yeah, this one in my finger is really bugging me. So you worked today.
I did.
And I did a whole bunch of planting and gardening today, which was lovely.
Planting and gardening.
So we have a story to tell.
Oh, yeah. Go for it.
So I'm in back doing my gardening thing, and Cory comes out and he's like, "Hey, do you have your shoes on?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I hear the lady across the street yelling for help. Can you go over there and help her?" So we have this lady that lives across the street from us. She's older. She's had her hip replaced a couple times. Super nice. Yes, I was outside. So I run out front to make sure like she's not like laying in the driveway or something. and I notice her door is not open, and I pretty much know her pattern. Like if she has the door open, she's, you know, in there or whatever. But the door's not open, so I'm like, are you sure it's her? And I thought it might be the girls next door because it's one of the girls' birthdays today, and I thought maybe they were just playing and having fun and screaming or whatever. So then I started hearing, help, help. I know instantly.
It was loud.
I know instantly where it was coming from. I knew it was coming from there. As soon as I knew what direction it was coming from, I knew it was that lady.
How? I mean, when did you ever meet her or know
Well, she's
her?
called the ambulance 100,000 times since we've been here. So I follow the sound of the help, and it is this lady that lives 3 houses down from us. We are not the only ones that heard this. There was a guy up the street,
Like way up the street,
who ended up coming down. The people across the street were outside listening and looking and went back inside. So apparently there's this lady that lives 3 houses down, and I get there and I'm like, can we help you? What can we do for you? Do you need me to call the ambulance? She's like, no, I need help getting out of my chair. And, you know,
we're very helpful, but
I'm like,
I was not about to let you or me put ourselves
we
in
didn't
that
put our
position.
masks on, which it didn't occur to me until I saw the mailman get out across the street with his mask on. I was like, shit, we didn't bring our masks. But anyway, I'm like asking her what her name is. Her name is Danette.
Very strange. Which
is weird, because as you guys may or may not know, that is my biological mother's name. So that was weird. Anyway, she, you know, we asked, can we call anybody for you? I'm hoping that like I can call a friend or relative or something. That's like the first thing I'm trying to get, because I don't really know her situation, and you know, I didn't want to go in there. I certainly didn't want to go in and help her out of a chair that could potentially
and it's not only
lawsuit me for some reason.
Yeah, well,
or,
that too, but I mean,
I think of all these things.
We are not trained to do that.
No. So I'm just trying to talk to her, you know, get some information out from her, and she gives us this address or this number, this name of this place to call. So we call it, and Cory calls. Thank God he had his phone. So it ends up, she apparently is a problem person, which she was on speaker.
Well, that's what this lady said.
That's what the lady said. I felt bad. She's like, she only wants to pay for 4 hours, but she needs to pay for this many hours, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I thought that was poor form on that lady's part for giving us too much information.
Yes. I mean, she could have said like, oh yeah, she's one of our patients. Right. Like,
we know who she is. Let me take care of it. Hold the line.
And she's on speakerphone. So we're like walking away trying to get out of ears shot of this poor lady. So we end up, she's like, we'll call you back. I'm like, you know, before I'd ask her if we could get her anything. And then she's like, I'm so thirsty. Can you get me a drink? And again, I was like, I'm not going in there. So Cory's like, oh, get her a LaCroix. So we went and got her a LaCroix and brought it back to her. And I like passed it in. I still never really directly looked at her face because of the door, because you can't see through that screen kind of metallic door.
I saw her.
I could see more of her dog. But you also went in and got her phone for her, which was very nice of you, because there was no way I was going in there.
I don't know why I did, actually.
It was nice of you. I mean, she ended up calling the people, and, you know, they're like, somebody's on the way. But anyway, Cory went back home, and I kind of stayed there and waited for the lady to come and, you know, to sit with her. But I'm like talking to her, you know me, I'm kind of awkward as it is with strangers. So I'm like talking to her, but then not talking to her, and like standing there.
Well, it's like, what do you say?
Right.
First and foremost, she's not exactly 100% coherent.
Right. And I can't really understand her.
She sounds like she's had a stroke at some point.
But I think the soda helped.
Terrible for her.
I know.
Like, nobody's there for her.
I know.
And apparently, like, nobody ever is. It's just a caretaker.
The thing that is echoing in my head right now that I cannot get out of my head is, well, first of all, we talked for a while. You know, I asked her if she's from here, how long she's lived here. She asked me what my name was. And I'm like, Derrol. And she's like, oh, like Bigfoot? You know that stupid commercial? The Geico commercial?
Ah!
Yeah. So we talked about that.
I wouldn't have put that together. I guess if that name was Cory and I'd seen it, it would have stuck.
Yes, well, it's funny because Rosemary and I talked about that. I'm like, great. For all my life, it's been Larry and his other brother Derrol and his other brother Derrol. But now it's Bigfoot. Anyway, the thing that is like, I cannot get out of my head is as I was walking down the driveway to like greet the lady that came to help her, I was like, okay, bye, you know, have a good day. I hope everything is okay. And she just said, thank you so much for helping me. And that made me so sad, and I can't get it out of my head.
Well, honestly, if there's any indication of the way the lady treated her through us on the phone, she's likely getting treated like that by that company.
I know, that lady didn't seem very happy that showed up either.
I mean, it's an inconvenience maybe, and they're not getting quote unquote like compensated for the time, but that's not like why they're in this business, you know. Hopefully they're there to help people, and it's just sad. I felt terrible. I didn't know what to do, but
I certainly didn't want to walk away and just leave her without anybody being there. So I stood in the driveway and talked to her a little bit, and, you know, asked her if the soda was okay. And the mail came when she was there. I'm like, hey, do you want to check your mail while you're waiting? Here, let me give you your magazine and stuff. And she's like, I can't read my mail unless you hold my soda. And I'm like, okay. But I felt so bad. Just goes to show, I mean, that's something I've been thinking about this whole time, you know. I like old ladies. I've always been friends with old ladies, you know. I enjoy talking to them and gardening and all that stuff with them. And like, I've worried about that through this whole quarantine. How many people are actually alone, you know. I know that she's called the ambulance a bunch of times in the past couple of years, so I know that she has issues. But it was just weird to be presented with it. And then her to have my mom's name, which was super weird because I never meet anybody named Danette. When she said Danette first, I was like, Jeanette? She's like, no, with a D. And I'm like, Danette? She's like, yeah. So actually, as I was leaving, I told the lady, I was like, yeah, this is really the first time I've ever interacted with her. I'm like, her name's the same name as my biological mother. And she's like, Danette? And I'm like, yeah, I've never met anybody with that name. And she's like, yeah, that's weird.
Not very common.
She's like, maybe it was meant to be. So, but it's just crazy that she was like screaming out into the street. And it's obvious that, I mean, you heard
I think
it.
there was something else happening, but she didn't tell us. And we weren't exactly prying to get that information.
Yeah.
I think maybe she had to go to the bathroom or
Yeah.
something else was going on, but I think we kept our distance enough that
And even with all this,
we didn't get that information.
Even with all this
I'm
stuff
okay
going
with.
on, before all this stuff was going on, I'm weird with touching people, and weird with people touching me. So I couldn't go in and help a stranger to like, I mean, unless she was like falling in the backyard and obviously, you know,
Totally different.
was in need of some sort of assistance, then I would have helped her up if she'd like fallen in the
She was
driveway.
upright
But,
in her
like,
chair.
going into somebody's house that I don't know, and you know, the guy was kind of looking at us like, you guys got this handled, and we're like, yeah.
Whoa, I was like, I don't know. I think
guess,
so.
like, I was kind of looking at him like, we do, but don't leave.
I don't know what's happening.
And then
here.
the neighbor across the street, James, came home, and he was kind of looking at us like, what are they doing in the driveway? So I know that people around, I know her next door neighbors, the ones that live right next door to her. They were home. They had to have heard it, but nobody came to her assistance. And the lady on the phone was like, this happens all the time. And
I was like, oh, she's like, you must hear this all the time. And we're like, I said, well,
we had never heard that before. I mean, the lady across the street has our phone number, so I would assume that if she could get to the phone, she would call us.
She has
or call
called us.
you. She's
Yes.
called us before.
She has called.
And we've gone over and helped her. You know, I helped her bring in her groceries and stuff, but it was really weird. You have a cousin named Danette? That's crazy. Oh, Cory and I were home. We heard somebody yelling for help. It was the lady 3 houses down from us. She wanted to get out of her chair. She was in a wheelchair. She was yelling help out her door. And apparently her home aid worker had left the hour before. And we ended up calling the health workers and having them come back. They sent a supervisor to help her.
And in the process, they gave us really over too much information about her, and
she was
it
on
was
speaker.
a little we were on speaker and she heard it all. It was just really uncomfortable and weird.
Yeah, and then I stayed there with her. You know, I stood in the driveway and kind of talked to her through the screen until the people came, but it was just It was very sad, especially with her saying thank you for helping me as I was walking away. Like, how many times has she screamed out the door and nobody's helped her? I mean, I would hear that. Don't you think?
Well, I mean, such a fine line, you know? I mean, I want to help where I can, how I can, always.
Right.
But there's only so much I can do. And I definitely don't want to get in the situation where, like, across the street, I love helping her when we can because I think she understands the boundaries and the limits.
Mm-hmm.
I never told you what happened the other day with her, did I?
No.
Janine helped her after I ended up helping. Well, I don't remember her name right now, but I'm not going to use it anyway. She was getting in her car. She came outside and I was out working on my car, and she was trying to like get in the car.
Oh Lord, she should not be driving.
Well, I walked over.
Breaks my heart too, Kaya. I would like when I left.
It was very sad. I walked over and I said, "Well, how can I help you?" And she's like, you know, always as gracious as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. I just had hip surgery and I really need to get back on the horse, and my doctors are telling me I need to get back to my daily routine, and I just, you know, I drive and I want to be able to drive and I need to go for a drive. And I said she was not very mobile.
Well, her son she's been driving, but her son has been in the car with her.
Oh.
So it scares me that she was going by herself.
I held her cane, and I helped her into the car, and then I said to her, now, I hope that you're going to be okay to do this. You don't seem like you're getting around very well. I'm not here to tell you you're not supposed to be driving, but if you get down the block and you're not comfortable, I'm hoping you'll turn around and come home. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, I'm not comfortable with you getting in the car and going somewhere.
She's a speed demon too. She goes.
It's hip surgery. Her legs weren't working very well, and
yeah.
She was gone for like an hour, and then she came back and then called for Janine because Janine was outside, and Janine went over and helped her. So I can't even imagine, you know, as we get older, what that's going to be like.
Thankfully, her son at least lives with her.
True, I mean, but he's not around all the time.
He's not around all the time, but you know, she knows.
He does a lot, though.
I've talked to her before, and you know, I've told her we have security cameras out front. And she's like, "Oh, thank goodness! I'm so happy you guys have those on my house."
Yeah, and ours actually see their house.
Yeah,
just through the top of one of them.
But this lady down the street, I've got to assume she's alone.
She's alone. I was in the house. She's alone.
Yeah, I was not going to go in that house.
I don't know why I did.
The dog's super cute, though.
The dog was so cute.
I still didn't get what
he tried to nip me a couple of times. He couldn't tell if he wanted to nip at me or if he wanted to love on me.
It's a little chihuahua thing.
Oh, he was adorable.
Super cute.
Little chocolate
yappy little
color.
thing. But yeah.
Yeah, we've had the conversation, my mom and everyone, like if something happens and she's not mobile, or things get to the point where she's not comfortable being on her own, I will figure it out and get back there. Mm-hmm. So rest assured, Mom, if you're here, I think you're there. You're texting me at least. Maybe you forgot.
Yeah, I just wish I could get that out of my ear.
Well,
that's all
we did our part.
That's all I keep hearing.
Well, you think that if she's got a caretaking company...
She had that. She must have had it on speed dial, because as soon as you fixed her phone for you, by the time you'd gotten back around outside, she called and she's like, I need help. And the lady on the phone was like, I know, we just talked to the people that are there with you. We're sending somebody right now. They'll be there in about 15 minutes.
Oh, because that lady said she was going to call her.
Yeah.
She's like, she has her cell phone next to her. She'll get a call from me in just a minute. Thank you for helping.
Which she apparently didn't.
Which...
Because it was in her bedroom and Cory had to get it. There's no way.
Anyway, that was our excitement for the week.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Yeah. Hopefully she's all right. Which just makes me wonder, how many hours is a home person there? I mean, if they're there for like
She gave me the hours. I don't remember them, but she quoted the hours that people are there and the hours that... She gave me way too much information for being like a random person. It was weird.
It just seems like if somebody's only with her for 6 hours, that's a long time for a person that can't get out of a chair to be by themselves.
Well, they also are on a schedule of how
Are there 2 shifts or something maybe?
Yeah, there's 2 shifts, but it sounds like there's a gap in the middle, and they've encouraged her to fill that gap, but maybe she can't afford it, or
that was the other thing. I started worrying about that.
expensive.
I'm like, oh, poor lady, she probably can't afford it, and like she thinks she can be okay for these couple hours so she can save the money, and I'm like, ugh.
Maybe that's grocery money.
Right?
You know, maybe that's how she can eat. I know, who knows?
And I was like, her trash can's down there. Should I offer to bring it up tomorrow after the trash leaves? Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, we can't have that decision made for us unless something goes terribly wrong, right?
Right? True. I definitely.
Well, at least now we know
Yeah.
a little bit more, so maybe we can keep a little bit better eye. I mean, I keep an eye on the street, across the street all the time.
Yeah.
But she is across the street. I don't have to go out of my way to do that. But
3 houses down, and we could hear her screaming.
the guy heard her across the street.
2 houses
4
up
more
from us.
3 more houses down.
3 more. Yeah, 3. He was out smoking a cigarette when I ran out.
He was
there.
like, he looked alarmed too. He was like
Yeah.
almost running.
I thought she had like fallen over in the backyard or something. That's what I was imagining in my head. But
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anyone. And maybe she's lived longer than everyone, or maybe, who knows? I can speculate all day, but she's got us now.
yep,
Uh,
I definitely have like a soft spot in my heart for older folks. Like the lady that came into the theater that one time, and she was like saying she was going to try to meet a friend, and she wanted to buy Reese's from me at the concession stand. She kept trying to pay with her sunglasses, and then she'd like ask me again how much it was, and I'd be like $2, and she'd like reach in her purse and like pull out a pair of glasses, and like I was like, this lady's not okay.
Or maybe she just didn't have $2 and she was hoping you'd just give up on her and give her the Reese's.
I know, I knew something was wrong. I was trying to like see her ID. I was trying to, and it ended up I called the cops because I wasn't going to let her leave. And when I was waiting for the cops to come, I saw her husband looking around for her out in the street, and I was like, is your wife lost and maybe has Alzheimer's? He's like, yes. I'm like, I have her in here.
True, Leanna, but if there's anybody that was probably the best person to go in,
he's got the antibodies. So.
Yeah, I've got antibodies built up. I'm sure that, I mean, who knows, but it all happened very fast, very quickly.
I didn't even have the like forethought to grab my mask as I ran down there. I just automatically like ran to help. I know. I think that's what it is too, Kaya.
Well, their bodies are giving out, and sometimes their minds, but most of the time it's just their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it's gonna happen to all of us, right?
It's already happening to you, girl.
Shut up. What, my mind or my body?
Both. Both. We're in trouble, you guys. This one left the stove on twice recently.
It'll be my mind before my body.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
And actually, I have markers for early onset Alzheimer's in my DNA.
Oh yeah. Great.
And macular age accelerated macular degeneration.
So you're gonna be blind and senile.
Yes.
Have to lead you around the house. Great.
I'm still gonna be driving.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
In my 4x4. Whoops.
I see you've made the decision to donate plasma again on the 20th.
Are you still on my calendar?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get you off my calendar. I think we actually shared it on purpose, so you knew what my work schedule was.
Which
at
is
one point.
Perfect, because I don't have to ask you every single day what you're doing.
But you don't have to know all my business.
Well, it's
before
good
I tell
to know.
you.
Sometimes I'm like, when I get home from work, I'm gonna have the house to myself tonight.
I'm gonna change that around. that week is very busy for me, and I told her I don't know. I thought they'd be able to squeeze me in this next week, and apparently not.
It seems very odd that they would postpone it that long.
Well, they're full. They only have one machine in that facility.
Oh.
And then one person takes like 2.5 hours. Have a dog food. I want that little. All right.
Oh, right.
So I have to say, I think I've always been a big dog person. I've never really had dogs except for the family dogs in my mom's house.
Oh, Weta, she was cute.
But I've always thought that I was like a bigger dog person. But every time I see a little dog like that little Chihuahua,
It was cute.
I just like something happens inside me. I want to take him home.
He's wicked yappy though. That'll be a problem.
Yeah, but I mean,
We
there's some training involved there.
We don't do yapping.
But
in this
yes,
house.
small dogs are generally more yappy. But I think I'd want a bigger dog. I would like a dog. We had a dog in the house for a short time, and I really enjoyed it.
He was fun.
He wasn't probably the dog that I would choose.
He had some
problems,
mental
but he was
issues.
very sweet, and I did enjoy having a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Who never mind.
What?
Nothing.
The cats did not like having the dog.
They got used to him.
No, I don't think Worthy ever did. I think that's why he was so mad at us for such a long time. He's like, you aren't petting me, you pet that mangy dog. A seeing eye dog for Cory. Yeah.
It's called Derrol.
This guy. We're going to be like the Golden Girls around here.
That was part of the pact. 20 years.
Yep.
Once you hit 20 years, you're set for your what is that? Not grandfathered in, but
Grandfathered, pretty much.
yeah.
We just need to get a lanai. Well, the Golden Girl house is up for sale.
I saw that.
We could buy it.
It's
move
not in
into
Florida,
it.
people.
I know. What a rip. We could buy it and then film in there, and we can be like, we're the Golden guys.
Ronnie.
Did she just thwack you?
Well, no, I scared her.
Oh.
I went to pet her head and she was sleeping.
Kurt wants a greyhound.
Yeah, greyhounds are fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they make good seeing eye dogs, but
You get places fast.
they're very cute.
It'll keep you a trim to make you run everywhere. I've always wanted a Great Dane.
Excuse me. I like Great Danes too, but they don't live
like
very
7,
long.
8 years. They get bloat. It's a
4
mess.
to 6
Yeah.
really is the realistic age range. They start to have major problems at like 4 years.
It'll send to you. Look at a C&I Rhonda right now. She looks drunk.
Oh, I would never buy a breed from a breeder.
Kurt is, I think he was looking through a few Greyhound rescues, but a lot of them weren't adopting right now because of the whole
Which is silly.
COVID thing. Well, you can't like go see someone who does rescues. They're usually like older, and you
Well,
go see the
figure out a
dogs,
different-
and then they die, and then all those rescue dogs need to be rescued by somebody else.
Well, there's a different way to do it, though. You don't have to be present to make all that happen.
My sister has a boxer, Kaya. I haven't met her yet. Her name is Olive. Her first one, Allie, passed away recently, which is very sad. I'm still very sad about that. That was a quarantine loss. And then she got a new boxer puppy, but it's a English boxer,
Yeah, it looks different.
so it's bigger. What kind do you have, Kaya? You still have a boxer? She had the littler version first with the smaller nose, and now the one that she has is a bigger snout and it's bulkier. And a schnauzer? Can I have a schnauzer?
Yes, schnauzer of some sort.
I like those. Yeah.
Well, all the more reason we need to go adopt a dog. I'll call Rose.
Right?
Rose, we're just gonna have one dog.
Are you kidding? With the animals that we're getting away with in here, we do not need to push
She
our
knows
luck.
about all of them.
I know.
But the one thing that her brother kept iterating was, but they don't have a dog.
They can't have a
Like
dog.
3 times he said it when they came and visited to do the changeover or the paperwork and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, that's interesting. Very, very okay with the tortoises. Had stories about their own tortoises growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she loved the cats.
I actually
loved the
made
cats.
friends with like the son of
They saw everything.
somebody and ended up teaching him about tortoises and gave him some tanks. And yeah, that was a stressful day. I tried to hide the 150-pound tortoise like around the corner, hoping that they wouldn't see him. And then Chad, my 30-pounder, comes walking, and they're like, "Oh, that's so huge." Meanwhile, I'm inside like this through the window looking. And they're like, "Oh, that is so huge. Is that real?" And I'm like, "Oh, God." And now they're like, I think Cory's like, "Yeah, she's real." And then freaking Pika stops eating all his food because he's done with it. And he walks around the corner, and I'm like, "Oh, my God." Before they got there, I'm like, "Okay, guys, I need some help how to hide a 150-pound tortoise." People were like, "Put him in the closet." I'm like, "There's no way. He would bulldoze through the wall." "Put him in the tub." He doesn't fit in the tub.
There's really nothing you can do unless you had like a gate on their little house, and still then he'd probably
He's
move the whole house
bulldoze
trying to get out.
the door to get out.
It's hard to wrangle a
Yeah.
100+ pound anything.
Aw. Both the boxers have passed. I love mini schnauzers too. They've always been one of my favorites. Mini schnauzers and Scotty dogs. I love Scotties.
Hershey was super sweet. I mean, still is super sweet, but was more sweet to strangers early on, but has become very protective of the family. So like when I go home, she thinks she likes me, and then the second I turned around, she like bites at me. She tries to get my legs, and it's like, well, but then I lean down and get in front of her, and she's like, "Oh, hi," and then you turn around, she's like, "Arr!"
Is she older now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always kind of wanted a mini schnauzer and a regular schnauzer too, because they're so cool. Although it's a lot of maintenance. Do you have to take her to get groomed regularly, Kaya, or do you just do that?
They keep her pretty groomed.
That beard.
Yep.
What's for dinner tonight? Oh, I know what's for dinner tonight. Oh, we didn't answer Kurt's question either. We had Del Taco for lunch, Kurt. Incidentally, that's probably what I'm having for dinner too, because I have my 2
Because
burritos
I bought
left
a lot.
over. I was sad that there were no baby quesadillas though. They're so
You
cute.
can make them. We have
I know, but they're so
cheese
cute.
and tortillas.
Speaking of cheese, everybody,
I bought
Saturday.
Yes, Saturday. I'm buying the cheese tomorrow.
If you're not aware of this, Kurt, I don't think you've been tuned in for a couple days. I'm doing a cheese tasting on Saturday, which you'll be here for. You'll be probably sitting out on the couch wishing you could eat some of the cheese.
The back of Kurt's head will be right here in front.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to buy cheese that Derrol has never had before, or maybe has but doesn't remember, because I pretty much know what his diet has been.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to buy a whole bunch of cheeses and do like a little taste test.
I love labs too, Retta. That's what my sister has. Although she got a German short hair pointer recently.
Well, that's actually the dog I would want.
I'm sad because when I go home again, she's not going to be a puppy anymore. So cute when they're puppies.
They're brown, right? The short haired
and spotted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool dogs. Very hyper, but very cool.
Oh, you did watch Dia.
He was here yesterday when we talked about it.
Oh.
I pay attention.
No, you don't. Where's my magnet that I gave you? Is it on the floor again?
It doesn't stay up here.
Oh.
Excuse me as I itch.
Did you get a prize? What are you having for dinner tonight, Cory?
Well, I was going to make pasta, but I guess I still can just make a smaller amount for me.
True.
You
And
can
who
have
knows?
those in the morning for breakfast. Do you work tomorrow?
No. Yeah, he should be Retta, but he won't be. He'll be sitting out in the other room going, give me some of that cheese. Pass some over to me real quick. And I'm going to be like, nope.
Well, we can set up a table on the side there. He won't be seen.
So you can rock out to the music. What was that?
I don't know, but it sounded big.
I know.
We just heard a big clank in the kitchen. Two big clanks. I wonder what that was. Sounded big. Mom, your test? Did I miss something, Mom? What was it?
I don't see anything noticeably. Ah!
There was two of them.
What?
Right as you walked out, there was another one.
You
didn't hear the second one?
No.
I'm not sure what the negative test Cory means, Mom. Were you getting... I know we kind of talked about you getting COVID tested. Kaya was going to get... Sorry, as I'm announcing all this on the show.
Kurt doesn't drink, Kaya.
Text me or share more here, please. So a current test, did you get an antibody test? Or did you get a current, I have it currently test, IgG versus...
A current, I have it currently test?
Well, there's three tests. There's the, you have it currently, like active. You have just had it, so you haven't built antibodies yet, but you're still showing, I don't remember what the difference between that middle one is. And then the last one is you don't have an active case, but you have antibodies. It must have been. It was loud. There was two big thumps.
Pika's marching around out there. He might be crashing into stuff.
It sounded inside, though.
I know, but I didn't see anything noticeably fallen. The wind's been pretty crazy.
Okay, so your active test is negative. Swab. That's active.
Where they put the swab in your nose is like... What?
It doesn't hurt, but it is uncomfortable. That's when they put the microchip in, by the way. That's the theory, right? Everyone's going to get this test, and that's when they insert the microchip.
No, it's in the vaccine, don't you know? I just want to slap people when they say that, because you have a cell phone in your pocket. You take it everywhere with you. You're already chipped. So shut up.
People
you
follow
idiots.
us. You can follow anybody anytime, I'm sure, if you just know how.
People think they're so interesting and they're going to be chipped.
My car has a chip in it.
Oh my God.
It's like,
shut up, you idiots.
I have GPS that's built into the car. I'm sure I could turn it off somehow, but I'm sure somebody else knows how to turn it back on the minute I turn it off if they really wanted to find where I was.
Everybody has an Alexa or a Siri in their home. People used to be worried about being spy tapped on the phone, and now you ask your spy tap what questions.
Yeah, no, seriously. This Siri stuff, it can hear you like 2 rooms away.
Yes. And everybody's worried about a microchip in the freaking thing.
Yeah, you can. We carry all these things around that get tracked.
Mm-hmm.
It's silly. People are so... Well, there is another part of the theory that I read that it's not just a tracking chip. It's like... So it's like mind control.
Well, you know what this is all rooting from, right?
Mind control and like turning the illness on and off, and it's futuristic stuff that people just get stuck in their heads.
Well, what this stems from is the coming of the beast. People wear the mark of the devil on their head, and then they are chipped. People are already wearing the mark of the devil on their head. MAGA hats. So they automatically think that the tracking chips are next. But it's those people that wear that hat.
Okay. At any rate, I'm glad your test was negative, Mom.
Me too.
They sent you a link for the antibody test if you want to see if you've actually already had it. It's $120. Your healthcare provider would probably pay for it if you asked. I think it's worth it. And you add to the statistic of people that know that they've had it to the numbers of cases and can date it back. Maybe you got it before Sid. Or maybe you just have never had it.
Maybe I had it and I just wasn't.
I want you to go get tested.
I don't want to pay $120.
Well, it's only $120.
That's $120 more than I want to spend.
I know, but peace of mind.
I already have peace of mind. I lived with it in the house.
Yeah, but you don't know. And if you didn't hear Derrol at the beginning, I made another appointment to donate plasma. So that is on the 20th. Which is the soonest one that they could get me in at that facility. I might be able to call around to other facilities and get it sooner. But it's like my busiest week.
See,
in like 3 months. The last 4 months, that's my busiest week yet. I've got like 4 appointments lined up to record people's testimonials for something. And I'm like, oh, I might have to cancel this.
And I find it odd that they are not testing again for the antibodies before they do it.
Well, I think they test,
Because...
Kaya, if you know this, please tell. I think once I give the sample or the donation, they run that through tests. So it goes through HIV testing and hepatitis testing, and like they cover everything is before it goes into circulation. So I'm sure they test the antibody count in there too. Or they wouldn't send it out.
Well, I mean, I would just think they would do that first, so that if you don't have it, they don't go through all of that rigmarole for you just not to have it.
Dude, you waited in the car.
I waited in the car.
It takes a long time.
Yeah. See, I'm almost 100. I'm 90% sure that I have the antibodies in me because we were in the car together when he was sick. We were breathing the same air.
Using the same bathroom, using the same kitchen.
For me,
it would be a miracle if it wasn't. And if I got sick with it in January, February, at least in March, this was kind of in the news already. So I was a little more conscious of being cleaner, sanitizing after myself. I wiped down all the doorknobs.
You are very good about that.
I was over the board, like over the top with it. You were still at work, but I went through the entire house for like 3 days, and everywhere I went, I took a sanitizing wipe and I wiped everything down because in the back of my mind, I'm like, I feel weird. This is different. There's this thing going around right now, and I so don't want to get anybody else sick.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, and I got a note saying where mine went for the purpose of being used for COVID patients. It ended up in somewhere in California. I can't remember.
Yes, Retta.
But they've been calling me every day.
Zombies.
And I wanted to do it anyway. I just didn't know when. But they have literally called me every single day with a story about how the demand has doubled and they need more. So I'm like, okay, well,
do it.
What else am I going to do with all this plasma?
I just got a bunch of plasma laying around.
Can I just ask them not to pump it back into me?
Yeah. Is there just like an out squirt where you can just
take it all?
Yeah.
When they take blood, they just take it all. Why do they pump it back in? I should do more research on that. I don't get that. That's the part that hurts and feels weird.
Yuck.
Yeah. Anyway.
True.
It is. And yeah. I don't even know what to say. I want to do my part where I can.
I did my part today by helping that lady down the street.
I walked in the house.
I know.
I still can't get the smell of our house out of my
I
nose.
know.
It wasn't bad. It just was different.
I know what you're talking about because
We could smell it when we walked up to the door.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it took a while.
Mm-hmm. Trade plasma for something.
Well, I remember when I was a teenager, like donating plasma, there was a dollar amount involved in it. I mean, I wouldn't do that now, but
you might consider it.
no, well, they don't do it.
Oh crap.
I don't think you can get paid for it. Unless you probably went to some facility like that was like some of these tech places in
like
Serena Valley.
Like you donated plasma, you get free Big Mac at
well, I get a
Burger
okay,
King.
let me backtrack. I get a $5 Amazon gift card.
Oh. There you go.
I am getting paid.
Well, I didn't want to say that.
Oh,
Kaya.
I have something.
I didn't want to say that.
Old urine. That's not no.
That's what I smelled.
Well, I mean, that maybe I did smell dog. Why are we talking about this? We don't need to talk about this. I have another story though,
Rhonda's gonna grab
and it's
you.
more of a question of what I should do. So I got an email the other day to be a part of a review for a product.
A review?
And it's a dash cam, and I have one of their dash cams already. It's a front and back dash cam. It records what's happening in front of the car and inside the cab. And I've had it for what, 2 years?
I heard it again.
And I've been wanting to not necessarily upgrade mine because mine's just fine, but I'm always keeping my eye on things. Well, I got an email the other day asking if I wanted to test out one of their new products. But the thing is, the way that it has to go is because it's technically not ethically okay to give somebody a product and then pay them to review it for a good review. But that's kind of what they're asking me to do. They didn't say a good review, they just said a review. I wish you could see her face. She's actually sleeping.
So when are you gonna do this?
Well, I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm even going to do it. But it's weird. You have to actually buy the camera, then they reimburse half of it in a PayPal account.
Depending on your
Well, no, it's
review?
right after you purchase it, you get half of the money, and then right after you review it, you get the other half of the money. Which makes sense. I mean, they're paying you for a review. But it's like a $270 dash cam. It's not cheap. But it's a dash cam, and then it has a rear one, too, that goes in the back window. So if you get hit in the back, you have a nice clear video of it. So I'd have to front $300, basically. And they don't pay for the taxes, so it ends up costing me like $20. But then I'd have an extra dash cam to give somebody. I don't know. It just came across this morning, and I thought, ooh, that's interesting.
We do, Retta. We haven't had a big one in a little while. I think Easter.
We've had lots of little ones.
Was our biggest one? Was that the biggest one in a couple of years? The Easter one that I actually felt.
Didn't we feel one
We
like
felt one recently.
3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
4 weeks ago.
Right after the show recently, actually, Retta, we had one.
But it was small. It was like 2.8 or something, but it was like right in the area.
It was like right after we went off the show, and I was like, damn it, why couldn't we done that during the show? Yeah, that was my first flag that just went off in my head, Kaya. It sounds shady to me.
Yeah, I have to buy the product, and then they reimburse.
I knew you were going to say that, Kurt.
Well, you're the first person I thought of.
I'm picturing the footage of that being like, mother effer, blah, blah, blah.
I think I'm going to do it. I mean, it's not unheard of.
Is there something to protect you from
No.
losing the $270?
How about this? If it goes wrong, I have 30 days to return the dash cam. People buy and return stuff all the time to make a video review. I mean, at least I'm doing something that I'm not unethically buying something to return it. Ew.
She just totally
She
sneezed on you.
sneezed right on my arm. Rhonda, that was gross.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Are you playing on my lap? She's totally playing on here too. She had things pulled up here that
You should. Isn't there like a cat and mouse game you can do for her?
yes. Yeah, we'll see. I'll let you know what I do. I was looking for it today. What a mess in here. I have just like redone everything and then moved and shifted stuff. But in this pile over here, I have a card somewhere for the capture card that I'm using for this video.
Is that what Frankie was asking you
to get
about?
$20 back if I leave a review.
Oh.
And I've been meaning to do it. I just haven't done it.
You guys have had earthquakes? What the heck is going on there, Retta? You got great white shark attacks.
The glaciers are moving.
You got tornado in Maine. What the heck is up with that? And earthquakes now? What the heck? It's because too much of Maine's voting red. Vote blue.
Well, not that we're going to get political on this little show here.
No.
But elections are coming up. However you vote, please vote.
Just don't do the wrong vote.
But vote for what makes you
Blue.
feel right.
Blue, blue, blue.
All right.
Yeah, it's crazy, Retta. Especially the great white attack. That was random and weird.
That was in Florida, though, not
No.
Maine.
Maine. There was recently
you
a...
sent a shark thing today.
Oh, yeah.
about
That was a
Florida.
hammerhead shark. There's a great white attack in Maine that killed a lady. And that's the first one ever.
The oceans,
ever in
global
Maine.
warming.
It's true. Red, white, and blue.
Don't tell us that, Retta. Even if you write somebody in, you'll still screw up the election, but...
It's true. Please don't vote for Kanye. Apparently he's out or not out or who the hell knows. He's in there as a diversion.
I'm writing in Oprah Winfrey.
Oh my God.
Oprah for president.
Oprah for president. And Stedman for the first lady.
No, he's the first man.
I know.
The first man.
The first man.
They're not married.
He doesn't get to live in the White House though. He has to live in a little...
I wonder how that would work if they're not married.
Oh, that's true.
They're just significant others. Excuse me, I just got something on my eye.
Has
Seriously.
there ever been an unmarried president?
No. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I'm not a history buff. Maybe before I was born there was one that I don't know about, but not since I've been... No, I think all of them have been married.
Interesting.
It may be one of them closeted.
True.
I'm just kidding.
That's a good idea, Retta.
See,
I will
write Derrol in.
I will get this country in place. And I'll be shipping a lot of people out of it too.
God save us now. And I don't pray. Then you can bet on a microchip. Just kidding.
Everyone will be required to have plants in their house. They will be required to do art at least once a week. And haters will be put in classes to teach them not to hate.
Is that our exit?
I think it might be at 6 o'clock.
All right.
So Cory's going shopping tomorrow for cheese.
Yes, tomorrow morning.
Saturday we're having the cheese show. if you guys feel so inclined to get some cheeses,
cheese it up with us
and have cheese with us, we would love to see cheese pictures on Saturday as well. James, I'm pretty sure you can make a nice little cheese plate. Retta, cheese plate.
if I'm allowed, and it's not too weird, I might record me getting the cheese in the store. So at least, and maybe post it a little early so you guys know what cheeses. That might be a little overzealous though.
I don't see that happening.
Well, I see it happening, but I also see me cowering with my phone in the aisle.
You need like a little camera that you can just wear. Can't you put your GoPro?
They have
like,
little 360 cameras that like you can wear on a necklace and stuff. But
that's what you need for like all of the things.
It's like
you wanna do.
$200. I don't need to
Get that instead of your dash cam.
Well, the dash cam will be $20 by the time I'm done.
True.
Anyway, we'll see how it works. If you see a post from me in the morning with what kind of cheeses we got.
First of all, you'll be very shocked because Cory's posting on Facebook.
Maybe I'll just snap some pictures of them.
Good night, Leanna.
Good night. All right, everyone.
Good night, Retta and James and Kurt and Leanna and Pat and Kaya. Retta. I said Retta. Oh. Who else am I missing? Derrol might look at the answers.
He still won't know what they taste like.
Yeah, I don't want to know before we go on.
What if I say that you're gonna have
Kathy, are you still here? Hi, Kathy. I didn't see Kathy sign in. Stu was here earlier.
Anyway, go find an elderly neighbor to help.
Yes, I'm gonna be concerned about her for the rest of the evening now.
Okay. I'll send you a little chat or text me. All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
See you
everyone.
tomorrow.
Do 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 do.